Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. A very warm welcome to meeting number 23 of the Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmasters Club. I am Mamta Jain, your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. As your Sergeant at Arms, it is my privilege to set the stage and share a few key guidelines that will help us make today's session smooth, enjoyable, and engaging for everyone. The meeting is scheduled for a duration of 2 hours. I urge all of you to stay for the entire duration to get the maximum benefit out of it. Your video should be on and the audio should be off. Unmute yourself when you are called to speak or need to speak. Regarding the topics of sex, religion, and politics, even though Toastmasters International doesn't put any restrictions on speaking on such topics. At the Gabbys, we request all speakers and role takers to be mindful and responsible to abstain from expressing any controversial views on these sensitive topics. Our club mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. Today, as your Sergeant at Arms, I have the special honor of setting the tone of our session. And what better way to begin than with a touch of poetry? Inspired by our thoughtful theme, Rejection to Success, this original piece comes straight from the creative pen of our very own Toastmaster Priya. So sit back, listen closely, and let the words pull you right into the spirit of today's meeting. Rejection comes without any drill, a silent test of heart and will, but every no becomes a spark, a lantern lit within the dark. Step by step, the path grows clear. Each fall can inspire us to rise above fear. Stand strong, brave and bold, focused onto your grit, just hold. Rejection is not meant to break, it simply teaches us what to make. A newer path, a braver stride, and then success walks at your side. With this, I hand over the virtual stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Renu Koshal, who will take us through the proceedings of the day. But before that, for the benefit of our guests and visiting Toastmasters, let me share a few words of introduction about Toastmaster Renu Koshal. She is a certified soft skills and post trainer and an aspiring image consultant, a triple crown winner and path breaker. Renu is deeply passionate about connecting with people, understanding their stories, and empowering them to grow through meaningful conversations. Beyond her professional work, she enjoys cooking and gardening, activities that help her stay centered. Now, virtual stage is all yours, Toastmaster Renu Koshal.
Thank you so much, our Sergeant at Arms, our Toastmaster Mamta Jain. Let's hear it for our Sergeant at Arms for starting the meeting right in time and giving it such a beautiful start. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests visiting Toastmasters. And I once again have a privilege to welcome our guest role takers today, who are Toastmaster Rashika, Toastmaster Manoj, Toastmaster Siva. So we are delighted to have you with us today, and I hope you experience the unique energy, the encouragement, the learning spirit that makes our club meetings truly special. Thank you once again for taking up the roles. And now, for the benefit of our guest, let me share a little bit what is this Toastmasters community. Well, Toastmasters began in the year
Renu, you're on mute, Renu. You have gone on mute.
Okay, sorry. So now, for the benefit of our guests, let me share a little bit about what is this Toastmasters community. So Toastmasters, it began in the year 1924 when Dr. Ralph S. Smedley, he started the first club in Santa Ana, California. From that single club, it has grown over into 14,000 clubs with more than 270,000 members. And they are spread across 148 countries. And all these clubs, all these members, they are all united together under one common mission. And that is empowering people to become confident communicators and leaders. And here at Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmasters, we keep that spirit alive. Our meetings are a safe learning space where we speak, we listen, and we give feedback. And most importantly, we all grow together. So before we dive into the proceedings of the meetings, I would like to begin by congratulating our club member Toastmaster Smriti Sagarika Mohanty in absentia on behalf of the entire Gabbys family for securing the first runner-up at the District 92 Table Topics Contest that was held in Bangalore. Congratulations, Smriti. You made us proud. And it was a well-deserved, I should say, the trophy. Now I would like to invite few guests who are joined us today. I see Viresh Beram. Could you please come tell us something about yourself, from where you are joining us? Are you a visiting Toastmaster?
Hi, yes. So I'm a guest. I'm looking to basically join Toastmasters. So I'm not
Okay.
a part of Toastmasters.
Yes.
So I'm basically based in Karnataka, like shuttling between a couple of towns, Karnataka. So I was looking for some hybrid clubs. So like Gabbys seems like a very good fit. So I'm attending. This is my second meeting of Gabbys. Just attending this and learning about or like experiencing how a Gabbys meeting goes.
Okay, thank you. I do see you coming up second time. So please wait. I would request you to stay back till the end of the meeting, and I would like to take your feedback. Thank you, Viresh.
Thank you, Renu.
I also see Matthew V. Can you please come on camera and tell us something about yourself? Are you a guest or a visiting Toastmaster?
Yeah. Yes, Toastmaster Reno. So I am Toastmaster Mathiyazhagan from Speak Magic Toastmaster Club in Chennai. Yeah, and I'm the visiting Toastmaster. I'm staying in Bangalore, and I'm an electrical professional. And in Toastmasters around 2+ years in the journey, Toastmaster journey. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay. And I see you are also our evaluator today. Yes.
Yes,
Welcome
yes.
all once again. Yeah. Could you rename yourself? Actually, that caused a little confusion for us. Thank you so
Yes,
much
sir.
for coming by. Yeah, please. Okay, now coming back to the meeting once again. Now, a gentle reminder to all the club members about our upcoming club level contests. The dates have already been shared, but I would like to reiterate them once again for everyone's convenience. The evaluation contest will be held on 10th February 2026, while the international speech contest, the ISC, will be held on 17th February 2026. Both these contests will be hosted here at Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmaster Club. So I urge each member of the club to prepare to participate wholeheartedly and especially mark these 2 dates and make these contests a memorable one for all of us. Now let me invite the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Michael Joshua, who will guide us through an engaging and inspiring session. And before that, let us know something about our Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Michael, he is the founder and CEO of Michael Josh Cybersecurity. Through his own company, he now supports organizations in strengthening their digital security. He has joined Gabbys to refine his speaking skill, share his journey, and grow alongside this vibrant community. The virtual stage is all yours, Toastmaster Michael.
Thank you, Toastmaster, Presiding Officer for the meeting, Renu Kaushal. Very good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. How is everyone doing? As to Tuesday evening, it's pleasure to serve as a Toastmaster of the day for meeting number 23. Today, I invite you to reflect on a powerful theme: rejection to success. That's a secret ingredient to success. What else that you when comes your mind when I say rejections? So anyone can unmute and say, what are the unforgettable moments, unforgettable rejections you faced in your life?
Because of my weight, I've always been rejected in arranged marriage proposals.
Okay. So Saurav?
Yeah, so I think Renu mentioned about Smriti, right? She coming second in the district table topic contest. What is very fascinating, I think everyone should know this, that Smriti actually did not come first in the club contest of GOAT. Smriti actually came second in the club contest of GOAT. So the Samita, who's the president of GOAT, she came first, and Smriti came second. But Samita was not able to attend the area contest, so Smriti went for the area contest.
Saurav, there is a lag in your.
The WCPS, he actually did not come first. He came second in the district. So I think rejection or defeat at one contest means nothing for the next contest is what my learning is from these stories.
Exactly. So anyone else to share their rejections? Everyone might face some rejections.
So I'd like to share something.
Sure.
And I will talk a little about it as well in my speech. But when I joined Dale Carnegie and I wanted to become a trainer, in my first attempt to get certified as a trainer, after some 150 hours of learning, I was rejected because I was told that I sound more like a teacher and not like a trainer. So that is one rejection that I faced many years back. But that did not stop me. I actually pursued that passion over a period of years, and I have become a certified. I was a Dale Carnegie certified trainer for quite some time, and I continue in that profession.
Nice, Uttara. So thank you for sharing all your rejections. And this rejections is like a bad Wi-Fi. It frustrates you, disconnects you, but eventually forces you to move closer to the right signal. So how legends has been rejected. See, Walt Disney was once told he lacked imagination. Imagine rejecting the man who created a mouse that built an empire for them. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter was rejected by 12 publishers. Today, those publishers probably wish like to have a time machine to go back and get those publications. So Michael Jordan has rejected multiple times in his high school basketball team. So everyone faces rejections in life, but the one who stand up and fight back will win the game. I tell you a small thing, very, very small thing. I'm not mentioning the bigger rejections of mine now. I'm just telling you like small thing about like, I have like small YouTube channel, and what I do, I just share some videos in there. And probably I create some informational videos and share it with multiple groups. Okay, so that it can be spreaded. So certain groups all are from my cyber security groups. Certain groups accepted, certain groups, or they said, no, you should not share those links in our group. I asked why, because every people are sharing. I'm not spamming you. Every day at least one, or maybe every twice once. I'm not spamming any groups. And those links are liked by multiple people. But those group admins, they don't like it. Just ask me to don't put, or otherwise we'll remove it. I see 2 to 3 groups in such a way. So what I did, this forced me to create my own group. That group started, and now it has more than 500 plus people. Every day I'm sharing those video links and informational things. They're liking a lot of. So such a way, like in small things I'm telling you, like not a bigger one. Small things when some people are rejecting you somewhere else, that triggers you to create something. So with that, everyone one faces a rejection in their life, but the one who stand up and fight back will win the game. Not everyone, right? So with that, we move on, and let me share the flow of the meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 segments. Prepared speech segment, where you refine your public speaking skills. Unprepared speech segments or table topics to enhance your impromptu speaking abilities. And finally, feedback or evaluation sections to identify your blind spots. So with that, I would like to call upon our general evaluator for the meeting to explain her role and her team. Today's general evaluator is Toastmaster Gaurii Aggarwal. Toastmaster Gaurii Aggarwal is a chartered accountant turned image consultant and soft skills trainer, helping companies address people management challenges. As a leadership trainer and life coach, she guides transformation journeys through her brand, rebrand, self. She also incorporates tarot as a tool for self-awareness and personal growth. Toastmaster Gaurii Aggarwal, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michael, Toastmaster of the day. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the general evaluator today, my role is pretty simple. I'm going to hold up the mirror for the meeting. And no, this does not mean that I'm going to be finding faults, but I'm going to be highlighting strengths and polishing some rough edges so that we can elevate our meetings. Now, I cannot do this alone because we believe in holistically improving your communication skills, which will include whether you are able to conclude your point on time, how many filler words do you use, how is your vocabulary, are you a good listener, and I do have my team who is going to be specifically looking at all these aspects. The first member of my team is the timer for today's meeting. And the timer for today's meeting is Toastmaster Ayesha Siddiqha. Toastmaster Ayesha is a data analyst and robotics trainer who blends data insights with hands-on STEM education to create smart, practical learning experiences. She is a returning member to Gabbys. Toastmaster Ayesha, please explain your role to us today.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster. As a timer for today's meeting, my responsibility is to mentor the duration of each speech and report the time taken by every speaker. Session including three segments like prepared speech, evaluation, and table topics. Prepared speech, the allotted time for a prepared speech is 5 to 7 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds. I will be displaying the green card for 5 minutes and a yellow card for 6 minutes and for a red for 7 minutes. And evaluation have 2 to 3 minutes with an additional 30-second grace time. I will be showing green card at 2 minutes and the yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds and red card at 3 minutes. Table topic session. During session, each speaker has 1 minute to speak and there is no grace period. At the end of the meeting, I will be represent final timing report for all the speakers. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayesha. That was an exhaustive explanation of your role. Thank you. My next team member is the language evaluator, and she has a lot on her plate today. That is Toastmaster Chaithra Laxminarayan. Toastmaster Chaithra is a lawyer at Moray specializing in third-party risk management and due diligence. She is married to a cricketer determined to make her a six-hitter. She's also a passionate Kathak dancer, certified Gabbie, and avid bird watcher. She's a proud mom to newborn Olive, who shares their lively home with Newton the Labrador and Leo the Kadaknath rooster. That was quite an introduction for my palate. Toastmaster Chaithra, please explain your role to us.
Thank you, General Evaluator Gaurii. Good evening, everybody, Mr. and Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I have two important roles as language evaluator. One, to pay close attention to all speakers and listen carefully to their language usage. Two, to introduce the word of the day. I'll also make note of unworthy words and sounds used by all the speakers and role players of today's meeting. This report would focus on 5 major elements: filler words, inappropriate interjections, use of crutch words, repetitive words or phrases, unintentional long or short pauses, any misuse of English language, any outstanding words, quotes, saying, or thoughts. As language evaluator, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is grit. G-R-I-T, grit. The word grit originates from Old English grit or griot, meaning small, hard particles of stone or sand. Over time, the word evolved metaphorically to describe firmness of character, courage, resolve, and strong perseverance in the face of challenge or adversity. Simple example sentences for daily use would be: at home, she demonstrated incredible grit by standing strong for her family during difficult times. At home, his grit pulled him through and helped him complete the project despite every setback. We have to support him as family. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I'm posting the word of the day, its meaning, and examples in the chat for everyone's reference. I'll give a word of the day report and language usage report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you, everybody. Over to you, General Evaluator Gaurii.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chaithra. Like I said, you have a handful today. Wish you good luck. My next team member is the listener for today's meeting, and that is Toastmaster Prapurna. Toastmaster Prapurna is a structural design engineer with Amberg Engineering, India. She's originally from Visakhapatnam and is currently working in Gurgaon. She enjoys learning new things and connecting with people from different walks of life. Prapurna joined Toastmasters in September 2024, and she is an extremely hardworking person whose day starts at 5 and I don't know at what time it ends. Toastmaster Prapurna, please explain your role.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Gaurii. Am I audible? I was outside. I'm outside. Okay. Dear Toastmasters and guests, being a good listener is just as important as being a good speaker. So today, my role as a listener is to pay close attention to the speakers from the starting to end of the meeting and note down interesting tidbits from the words they have spoken. So near to the end of the meeting, I'll be asking you a few questions to see if all of you are truly engaged and paying close attention. So I look forward to helping you all to improve our listening skills and show our grit as Toastmasters today. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Gaurii.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prapurna. Looking forward to your listening section. This was me and my general evaluation team. Now, all of you are going to you are under scrutiny. We are going to hawkeye you, but only for your benefit. With this, I hand over the stage back to Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster Michael.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Gaurii, and your competent team for sharing the guidelines with us. We will ensure we adhere to most of them. With that, we move into the next segment, prepared speeches. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Pareikh. Pareikh is a second-year student at VIT Vellore with a strong passion of artificial intelligence and machine learning. He believes in learning by doing, which drives him to pursue hands-on projects and real-world challenges. He thrives in the fast-paced environment of hackathons, where he channels his creativity to build impactful solutions that make a difference in people's lives. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Pareikh. His path name is Presentation Mastery. Project name, Write a Speech with Purpose. Level 1, project number 2. The speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Speech title, The Certified Weeb. Speaker 1, Pareikh, The Certified Weeb. The Certified Weeb, Toastmaster Pareikh, the floor is yours.
Most of you know me as a person who is obsessed with AI and machine learning. But today, I want to introduce you to the other part of my brain, the side that is shaped by my favorite hobby, anime. Now, before we dive in, let me ask you, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear that word? If you're like most people, you probably think it's Japanese cartoon for kids, and it's something childish to watch. To be honest, I thought the exact same thing. I held that belief for years until a friend finally broke through my defenses after 2 months of constant pressure. My first ever anime was Naruto. It's an absolutely massive show. We are talking about 700 episodes. That's more than 230 hours of content. To put that into perspective, it's like watching entire Lord of the Rings trilogy 30 times over. And I decided to give it a try. I watched the first 3 episodes paused 3 times in the middle, but kept pushing through. And then, bam! By the fourth episode, I was completely hooked. This was the moment I realized that I was completely wrong about anime. What makes Naruto is so addictive is its incredible storytelling, the depth of every character, the emotional highs and lows, and the sheer unpredictability of the story. But the best part is the animation doesn't make it childish. It enhances everything. It brings emotions, the fights, and the world to life in such a way that live action simply can't. More importantly, beyond just anime entertainment, Naruto taught me many valuable lessons, such as perseverance, friendship, the idea of believing in yourself. Over the next year, I watched multiple different shows. I started exploring all kind of genres, starting from action, moving away just from action. For example, I saw complex romance of your life in April, to the psychological horror of the Death Note, to a mix of action and slice of life from Reincarnated as a Slime. My favorite story, though, was Attack on Titan. It's a dark, complex military drama with high stake politics. To tell you how good it is, every single episode of the third season has a rating of about 9 on all platforms. By the end of the year, I had completely explored the anime world. The internet defines a weeb as a person who obsessively loves Japanese culture, particularly anime. And by the end of the year, I had totally become one of them. But there's a problem with the anime world. It's too slow. Like, think about it. Every modern anime only gives about 12 episodes a year. That's maybe 4 hours of content every 12 months. The waiting period is agonizing. One night, I finished a new anime season that ended on a massive cliffhanger. I couldn't wait for another year for the new part. So I decided to read the black and white comic book version, which is the original source of almost every anime. It's called the manga. The best part, instead of year-long breaks, it updates almost every week. I quickly completed some of my favorite animes by reading it ahead in the manga. I also started discovering fantastic titles that haven't even been animated yet. Manga, I was quickly hooked to manga. That's because you don't need a dedicated TV time to watch it, read it. You can just instantly whip out your phone and jump back to the story. Now, by transitioning from just anime to manga, I wasn't a casual fan anymore. I had upgraded my status. I was no longer simply a weeb. I was now a certified weeb. But that's not enough. After reading manga for some time, the weekly wait started feeling slow. You can just get a small glimpse of the next part of the stories every 7 days, and the occasional weekly break or an announce of 3 months hiatus after an important arc. No, that's too hard for my shrinking patience. That's when I discovered the light novels. Light novels are essentially like normal novels, except they update every day, chapter by chapter, each chapter containing about 1500 to 2K words. They are the source material for some of the best manga and animes out there. For example, the recently released Lord of the Mysteries anime is based on a light novel with over 1400 chapters. Talking about Lord of the Mysteries, I have completed. This is where my obsession truly peaked. I have completed the novel, twice. For me, it's absolutely the best peak of fiction ever written, even above the famous works like Harry Potter or The Hunger Games. I can't truly explain how such a marvelous novel is in a few words or a few minutes. In fact, I'll need an entire speech to give this book a justice. But I can tell you this, I recommend this to every single person I meet. And I'm still desperately searching for somebody to talked about it for hours. So, what did this journey from skeptic to a certified weep truly give me? It gave me something invaluable, a fresh perspective. It taught me that brilliant story writing, complex politics, and emotional resonance aren't limited to traditional books or live action TV. Great storytelling can be found anywhere. Don't dismiss a story because of its format. I'm genuinely happy seeing the recent rise of anime viewership with Demon Slayer new movie breaking all records and the recent hype of the Ghibli art. Every work I watch teaches me something new. I want each and one of you to give anime a try, whether it's romance, horror, comedy, or sci-fi. And if you ever need recommendations, you know a weeb. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jay Pareikh, for your wonderful speech. You said about you completed the novel with twice that much grit you have to complete that twice, and you have learned many things from the anime, the love you have for anime, right? So even I was once upon a time fan of anime series, but nowadays we don't have a time to spend for that. But when we sit, we become a child, and we lost from the world, and we get into the anime, we'll be more happy. So thank you for sharing such a very wonderful experience. With that, we move to the next speaker. Speaker number two is Toastmaster Uttara Sharma. Uttara Sharma is born in Navi Mumbai and now based in Bangalore. Uttara is a learning and development professional with 25 years in sales, training, learning strategy, and leadership facilitation. A proud parent to Sultan, her black Labrador. She also a motorcyclist who loves connecting with people and canines. Known for her resilience, honesty, and expressiveness, she maintains a strong progressive outlook. Uttara currently leads learning and knowledge of for IBM's business operations service line. Toastmaster Uttara, her pathway is visionary communication, level 1, project 1. The project name is Icebreaker Speech. Speech title, The Visionary Detour. The duration of the speech is 4 to 6 minutes. The speech title is The Visionary Detour. The Visionary Detour, Toastmaster Uttara Sharma, the floor is yours.
You see, for years, my career trajectory was a joke in the family. As the daughter of a retired defense officer, I was measured against high achievers, the doctor, the lawyer, the IAS officer. My report card would scream at the lack of academic inclination. Yet, my father's only ray of hope was my gift of the gab and the command over the English language. He'd constantly challenge me with tenses and grammar questions, which I used to cringe at first, but when I started winning these, I started enjoying them. Still, my family's expectations for me were, let's just say, malleable. I missed getting a first class in my 10th grade and had to opt for arts. When I faked failing in the 12th grade, no one in the family was angry. In fact, they believed me and they said, there's always a next time. I didn't inspire any confidence or show any grit in having a robust career choice. Why? Because I didn't have any. And then came the turning point. I bagged my first job before even appearing for my graduation exams. A job to sell ad space for a leading newspaper organization in Mumbai. The gift of the gab worked, and I breezed through the interviews to be among the 9 selected candidates from the 354 who walked in for the recruitment drive. Yay! And my career was set. Or so everyone thought. No one knew that I had gone for the interview not because I wanted a strong career start, but because my boyfriend worked in the same building. Shh, it's still a secret. Over the next 5 years, I continued working and climbing the ladder. I broke up with a boyfriend, half completed a diploma in advertising, and pursued a part-time program in marketing management. Except for the breakup, everything else was leading me towards having a strong career in the media industry. Then, one day, I attended a training session on leading an intentional life. The trainer bounced off walls, used language that made us wonder if he'd eaten a dictionary for breakfast, and looked us in the eye when making life-changing recommendations. After the session, I had forgotten every suggestion. But something inside me shook. The trainer had everything that I was complimented for: good English, good energy, vocal skills, body language, and the ability to connect. And so I thought, why don't I become a trainer? I can start on my own and train people how to sell. Swelling with pride over my entrepreneurial vision, I came home and made the announcement to my father. He heard everything I had to say, but remained non-committal. A couple of days later, he showed me an advertisement in the Mumbai Mirror. Dale Carnegie Training was hiring. He sat me down and gave me the most visionary advice I've ever received. Beta, you must have a career of your choice. But before you decide to be your own boss, work in a place that helps you learn the trade, teaches you the tricks, and gives you the experience. Because there was no boyfriend to influence my decision this time, I listened, applied for the job, got interviewed, and was selected. But not as a training consultant. I was selected to set up the marketing department. Nothing had really changed, did it? I started my career in media sales, and the natural progression was into marketing. But actually, it all changed. That was just a foot in the door. Dale Carnegie Training gave me the platform to learn alongside my core role. I observed trainers, assisted them, and eventually grabbed opportunities to pick roles where I had to sell learning solutions, training programs, and facilitate sessions. From college students to HR heads and CEOs, I met people from all walks of life and utilized all of those interactions as life learnings, which I continue to practice and share today. I was formally trained to sell, negotiate, lead, manage, and facilitate. And here I am today. 20 years later, after listening to my father, I now lead learning and knowledge for one of the largest IT consulting firms. Here, I sell, negotiate, lead, manage, and facilitate. The decision to not jump into being an entrepreneur created a smooth, intentional career journey built on learning. And that made me a more flexible person, open to perspectives. I must say, though, that being patient and empathetic with the uncertainties of others is a trait that I'd like to improve on and cultivate, which I think will greatly help me in establishing better connects and building stronger relationships. Long story short, a career trajectory need not necessarily be predicted based on what one demonstrates in their youth. Being receptive to your own inner voice and the advice of the experienced is what has led me to define mine. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uttara, for the powerful message about the learning which you have from your experience. So everyone, please give a standing ovation to the speaker as she completed her icebreaker speech.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let's now move on to the next exciting segment of impromptu speaking, our round robin table topic session. This is your chance to think on your feet, take risks, and speak without preparations, which is basically inviting tiny rejections in a safe environment. And the best part, every attempt makes you confident more than the last. So, our table topic master for today is Chitrangana Singh. Chitrangana is a 11-year corporate champion, passionate traveler, dance enthusiast. She is now adding mom and impeccable communicator to her resume, mastering the ultimate juggling act. Toastmaster Chitrangana, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Michael Joshua, for this warm introduction. The session so far has really been a powerhouse of inspiration. My dear Toastmasters and guests, now let's take a slight detour and dive into something fun and lively through our round robin table topics session. Here are the rules. Each topic will be covered by 3 speakers as a team. Each speaker will get 1 minute to share their thoughts on the topic and wrap up also. After which they will be muted. As soon as this happens, the next speaker from the set to start. The catch being the next speaker has to start from where the first speaker left off. I would request the Zoom moderator, Renu Kaushal, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal, to help with muting the speakers when their 1 minute is over. I hope the rules are clear. Each topic will also be posted on the chat. Without further ado, let me raise the curtain from another quirky surprise awaiting you tonight. Since we are talking about rejection leading to success, who better to borrow from than the iconic band Queen? They were told many of their songs were too long, too strange, too risky. Yet, those very songs became anthems. Tonight, your table topics will be inspired from Queen's unforgettable song titles. Just hear the words. Start with whatever pops into your head and run with it creatively. I'm already super excited to hear you all rocking with your speeches tonight. So I'm going to now pick up my first set of speakers. There are some raise of hands already. Okay, Toastmaster Elias, you have already volunteered. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Correct.
All right. Are there any
We
other
have
raised
Toastmaster
hands?
Ravi.
Okay, Toastmaster Ravi will be the
Toastmaster
second
Ravi.
speaker. Toastmaster Elias, Toastmaster
Yeah.
Ravi, and since they, okay, and okay, Toastmaster Uttara. So in the set, Toastmaster Elias, you'll go first, Toastmaster Ravi, you'll go second, and Toastmaster Uttara, you will be the third. Okay, so let's get started. The first topic or the song is I Want to Break Free. I want to break free. Let's get started.
I want to break free. I want to break free. Break free for breakfast free, I mean. Yes, I would like to have any food provided to me free. So I don't need to prepare for it, pay for it. I just want to eat. Just eat it. I don't want to have the burden to prepare all the ingredients and then prepare all the utensils, prepare all the kitchen stuff. I just want to put the food on the table and eat it with my own hands. Sometimes my own hands is the best spoon ever. Have you ever tried it? Try this. Ravi.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing. All I can think of is breaking free of this hesitation I generally have in my head every time, or not every time, at least when there are like surprise extempores or some random topic where you've been asked to speak about. So I definitely want to break free of that hesitation and get to a stage where I'm able to just jump in with very high degree of confidence, with very high degree of presence of mind, and just speak on that particular topic, express clearly, think, and articulate very clearly what I want to say or what I want to express. That's all I can think right now. That's my time.
Coming from a hybrid family where part of the family was progressive and part of it was conservative, the one thing that nobody ever thought was that this girl who is, who's studying psychology, who started her career in the media industry, has moved into learning, will ever know how to have her own vehicle, how to ride her or drive her own vehicle. I depended on cabs, I depended on buses, I depended on local trains in Mumbai. And then one day the thought came, I want to break free. And I decided to buy a motorcycle for myself. I called my mother and told her, gave her the decision that, look, mom, I want to buy a motorcycle. She was quiet. She didn't say a word. I said, don't you have anything to say? She said, you're grown up enough to make your own choices. I'd be happy if you were buying a car. But here you are, wanting to break free and ride a motorbike. Go for it, young lady. The world is yours.
What an incredible start to the session. Congratulations. Um,
Toastmaster Chitrangana, we are losing your voice.
Master Uttara, covering up from his story. Oh, sorry.
Your voice
Hello?
is cracking.
Am I?
Yes, you are now audible and clear, but earlier it was cracking.
Okay, I hope it's better now.
Yes, it is good.
Great. Yeah. So from breaking free from the need to relish your food a certain way to breaking free from simply the dependency of being transported by somebody else. I think we did cover the topic really well, and also the habit of pulling ourselves back while having the opportunity to speak up is something we really want to break free from, and that's why we have joined the Toastmasters community. It was incredible. Moving on to the next topic. I would want to pick up my next speakers if they are raise of hands already. Yes. So we have Toastmaster Jay Pareikh. We have Toastmaster Priya. And do we have a third volunteer? If no, okay. I will myself pick up Toastmaster Chaithra as the third speaker in the set. Can we have spotlight on 3 speakers? Yeah, okay. So Toastmaster Jay will be first, Toastmaster Priya will be second, and Toastmaster Chaithra will be third. The second topic or the song is Show Must Go On. The show must go on.
There were times when you feel that you are very down, you can't go further, but the show must go on. There was time when I was continuously, when I was in lower standards, I used to or just pass in almost every subject, or I used to just pass in almost every subject. I was not an exceptional student. I was okay in everything. That's when I was at my lowest at that point, and I decided that the show must go on. I continued trying, I continued practicing, I went more into sports, I played more sports. Even during the sports that time, I was not able to perform at my best. So that time also, I decided that I'll try my best. I'll continue putting the work in. So yeah, when whenever you are at your lowest, when you feel that you can't do anymore, just give yourself a little push. Tell yourself that if the shows goes on, maybe some things will change. Maybe things will be better. Maybe you'll be able to do better. That's my time.
Did we lose Toastmaster Priya?
Yes.
Oh,
So
she's
must
there.
go. So must go on. Yes. When I'm getting into trouble or when I'm facing the any complicated situations or I always think anybody will help me. So who I'm looking out for his help. But then finally I realized that I have to solve my problem. Then no one else going to help me. So that's when I started my journaling. So journaling somewhat helped me. It reduced my blabbering minds and keep looking focused to my what I want. So no one else going to help you except you. The show must go on. Thank you for this topic. Over to you.
Can I start?
Yeah.
All right. The show must go on. I'll walk you through a story of Raghu and Ramu. You heard me right? It's Raghu and Ramu who loved each other and would wanted to spend rest of their life and were so passionate about each other. But do you know how it works? They had to keep their love silent. They couldn't express their love to each other in public spaces, in family gatherings. Yes, they knew each other. Very close they were to each other. Eventually, because this entire story happened sometime back in somewhere in the 19th century, I could say, back then this was really considered to be a social taboo. At least now we have inculcated the habit to speak loud, to voice for those without voiceless. And
I wish we could get to hear the full story, Toastmaster Chaithra, but we have limited time. Sorry. That was an incredible attempt. Again, Toastmaster Jay, Toastmaster Chaithra, and Toastmaster Priya, congratulations. So that was an amazing toolkit on what to do when you feel that the show might be taking a halt now. From keeping up your perseverance, keeping practicing, as well as journaling to gather your thoughts, I think these are the very steps that can be taken by somebody to ensure that the show goes on. Moving on to the next table topic. Okay, I will pick up names now. Yeah, so we already have Toastmaster Manoj. How about you, Toastmaster Viresh? And Toastmaster Bindhu? Can we have all three in the spotlight? Toastmaster Bindhu.
I'm afraid I won't be able to start my video, but I can join.
Sure. No worries. All right. So let's dive into the next topic or the next song. Okay, just reminding, the first speaker will be Toastmaster Manoj, then Toastmaster Viresh, and the last speaker will be Toastmaster Bindhu. The song is We Are the Champions. We are the champions.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and Table Topic Master Chitrangana Singh. Perhaps the same, like I won't going to sing the song because if I'm going to sing the song, I can see most of you guys will be flying around from this digital screenshot now. But before I jump into it, we are the champions. And it reminded me of my cat story when I have a small kitten, which is just 2.5 years old. So a Persian, fluffy, gingery, doll-looking kind of thing, but a very grumpy thing. I think a couple of months back, he's been looking around for pigeons and magpies and the birds and all those things. It was just last few months back. He's been chasing them for more than a year to get hold of those cats, for those kittens, for those magpies. It was just last couple of months back, he caught a grasshopper in his mouth and he brought it in front of me in my living room and showing me that, Dad, I am a champion. See this grasshopper which is lying on the floor, which was like a headless kind of thing.
Toastmaster Manoj, your time is up.
Yeah, so I'll go next. So We Are the Champions song sounds like a victory song to me, but actually it's, I think, a song of perseverance and grit in the face of losses. In my own personal experience, I think it really takes me back to a dreaded scenario that I had after I chose my major in computer science. I was at my college doing algorithms class, which I badly flunked. And I came back and I was like, oh, like if I can't do algorithms, did I just pick a wrong profession for myself? What am I going to do? But then came back and said, hey, it's fine. Like I didn't say we are the champions, but I was like, hey, I've gotten this far. I think I can go to the next step. Like, let's fight this out. Like, so I went back, did a lot more programming, and I got a lot more incorrect errors and whatever else I did over many nights and days and weekends. And eventually I got good enough at it that, I enjoy writing algorithms and programs now. So yeah, you can have sand kicked in your face, you can fall, you can have everything, but just remembering that you can go.
Do I start?
Yes.
We are the champions. Is that soft rock or hard rock? I'm really confused about the genre. I'm sure Saurav will be the best person to tell me what exactly that is. But the fact is that it's always a we are the champions, isn't it? For any success story, any major success story, any war that is won, any enterprise that is established, it's always a we. Now, where do I fit into that we are the champions? That's a very difficult question to ask to one of the world's greatest high-level introverts that you have ever known. But all the same, I do understand that for several success stories, I have been a creative backbone. So yes, I can relate to we are the champions because any success, there is always a we. Back to you.
Cool. That's a phenomenal attempt yet again. Congratulations, Toastmaster Bindhu, Toastmaster Viresh, and Toastmaster Manoj. I'm sorry, I couldn't get the conclusion of the interesting cat story that was going on. However, I did hear how Toastmaster Viresh actually was actually able to overcome the fear of working with algorithms. And Toastmaster Bindhu Joseph, the element of we in speaking about champions of victory, that is actually something which does matter. I mean, no success is something which is carried out alone. It requires contribution of friends and family together. I hope I captured the essence of your speech well. All right, moving on to the next song. Before that, I'll pick up my next set of speakers. How about you, Toastmaster Gaurii? Toastmaster Rashika, and Toastmaster Mathiyazhagan. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Do we have all speakers in spotlight? Yep, all right. The first speaker will be Toastmaster Gaurii, the second speaker will be Toastmaster Rashika, and the third speaker will be Toastmaster Mathiyazhagan. I'm so sorry, I'm struggling a bit with the pronunciation of your name. Yeah.
Okay.
So the next song is Don't Stop Me Now. Don't Stop Me Now.
Sometimes your struggles are very personal. They can seem like comedy or not such big things to other people. At the risk of sounding repetitive, I've shared this many times, but I have been judged for the way I look. I have been misunderstood, tagged as arrogant, and all those scary adjectives. And actually, that made me underconfident and it made me an introverted person, whereas there was nothing ever introverted about me before I started realizing that this is how the world is perceiving me as. But I realized one thing, that confidence comes from within, it comes from small successes. And there came a point in life where I was switching careers, but my own work, I'm a chartered accountant, and my father's firm was going through difficult times. And when I was able to manage.
Toastmaster Gaurii, your time is up.
Wear confidence like a crown. Truly said that confidence comes from within. If you know what you want to do and you have the power to do that, nothing is impossible. Everything you can try, you can explore, and the things in front of you will turning in your favor. I know when I was being mocked in my school for my weak voice, there were many times when I stopped myself. I stopped participating in conversations because I knew whenever I'll speak, I will be mocked. So, just to avoid that mockery, I stopped participating. But then came a time when I realized it's not me that is being mocked, they just want a scapegoat to entertain themselves.
Toastmaster Mathiyazhagan, you can go ahead, please.
Yeah. Thank you. Don't stop me now. If no one is stopping me, then what would happen in my life? Okay, so when if I am progressing in the right path, it's okay. Then I can progress. If I'm doing it in the wrong way, then I need somebody should stop me. Somebody to to give the advice how I should give the directions how I have to lead in my life. So like that in my life, uh, in my even in the communication progress. So when I get stuck up, so when I had given the conversations during my school days, and I stopped it myself, and I put the stop. I would not have the discussions with others. Then I realized later that if I got stopped, then I would not get progress. So I should uh, taken the decision that I should keep on trying, and until so what I wants to be in the in life to in purposeful.
So my takeaway is like do whatever your wish with the full
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mathiyazhagan, Toastmaster Gaurii, and Toastmaster Rashika. You started with sharing your personal pain points. However, I'm pretty sure the stories would have led up to something incredible, but due to shortage of time, we couldn't get to hear. From being perceived a certain way due to the way you look, or being perceived a certain way due to how your voice is, we all have been there and we all have faced these challenges. All right, the presiding officer, do we have time for another topic?
Yes, we can go ahead with one.
All right. So the last set of speakers, Toastmaster Michael Joshua, Toastmaster Prapurna, and Toastmaster Mamta Jain.
I won't be switching on my video.
No worries. Totally okay. All right. So Toastmaster Michael Joshua, you will go first. Then we will have Toastmaster Prapurna, and the third speaker would be Toastmaster Mamta Jain. The last song of the evening, last topic of the evening is You Are My Best Friend. You are my best friend.
You are my best friend. Wow. Very interesting topic. But thinking of my best friend as of now, I couldn't get who is my best friend. There are a lot of people. To conclude who is the best in life, I would meet a lot of people. It depends upon the progress of time. We have to choose the best. But still, I didn't see very best friend. Even I would say my wife, I would say my friends in colleges, and many others. But the best friend, I cannot judge as of now. After 45 or 50 or 60 years, I would tell who is my best friend. Thank you, and over to you.
Prapurna.
Thank you for sharing, Michael.
Yeah.
That you still need to figure out who your best friend is. I'm on the same boat. But what I wish to do is instead of searching and finding one best friend for my life, let me make my friends who are in the best in the every field that I wish to explore, so that whenever I feel the motivation, I can go to my friend who is best in his field, and I can get the insights from him or her, so that it will help me grow in my career. It will help me manage my day-to-day mood swings. I can share anything, and I agree. We need not need one best friend for life. We can have many friends to various phases of life, and in one phase also we have many friends. So all you need is a better community that will support you to grow in your life. So
My daughters, my husband, my family, they are my best friend. They are always with me. They always help me. They encourage me to do new things. They are always ready to go with me. And when I am not well, they are like my supporters. They help me. I never feel alone when they are with me. So if we have friends, sometimes they don't have time, but my family, they always have time to spend with me. So I would say if we have, if our friends are far from us,
Okay. Again, a terrific attempt by Toastmaster Mamta, Toastmaster Michael, and Toastmaster Prapurna. From believing that it might take at least 50 years for somebody to be treated or to be called a best friend, to believing that rather than having a single best friend, we should have a community of people supporting us in every walk of life. We also said that family is our best friend who always find time for us. At the start of the table topics, I mentioned that I'm super excited that you all will be rocking with your speeches, and I actually saw that happening. What a amazing bunch of speeches, table topic speeches we had today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you all also had a lot of fun. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, and let's give a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Chitrangana Singh for wonderfully conducting this table topic session. Congratulations to all who bravely took part in this challenging and fun segment. Good job done. So let's take a 5 minutes break. The time is 8:46. Let's be back at 8:51. 8:47 now. Then we can come. 8:52.
We can come
Timer,
around
please
8.
note the timer.
We can come around 8. Toastmaster of the day, we can come back around 8:50. Yeah.
8:50. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. Okay, so with the continuity of our theme, I just want to ask one question from you. Like we have talked about the rejections, and I just want to ask you, like, how many of you turned your rejections into success? You have rejected multiple times, then you turn that one as a success. Can anyone come up with your own stories? Yes. Yes, Toastmaster Gaurii. Yeah.
So I'll finish my story. Yeah, so like I was saying that I switched from being a chartered accountant to an image consultant and a soft skills trainer. But there came a calamity where I needed to go back to my office handling the chartered accountancy part of it. Now, where my face was always a problem, I had to now deal with government officials, and they automatically are anyways judging you. So how I turned it into a success was I actually used my trainings of communication skills into learning how to convey my message to them without appearing or sounding threatening to them. And it was a big with the government successfully and
Gaurii, your voice is breaking.
So basically, as just through my communication, I was able to solve the issues that we had with the government departments. And the same thing, which was always a threat, now became a successful conversation for me. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for sharing your rejection story into the successful one. So thanks so much. So, anybody else? Known as rejections, it directly goes to success. Just please, anyone? Anything small, so you don't have to be a bigger rejections, even a small rejections.
Yeah, I have one to share. So when I was trying for a post graduation, I got in stuff, but nothing worked. But I think eventually that turned out to be good because I met my husband in the college I eventually joined. So I think that is my personal story for how rejection brought something good for me.
Great. That's excellent. Thanks, Chitrangana, for sharing your story. Okay. So, anybody else? One more can go.
Okay, I can. Thank you.
Yeah.
If I may ask, is there anyone in this room, virtual room, who is using Instagram as an official page? Any influencer or educator, trainer? Okay, so I am running an Instagram page that is related to mental and spiritual wellness, and I have been struggling with followers there. What I have realized is this is an educational content, and these days, reels and posts that get viral are entertainment ones. Be it dance, singing, or comedy videos, they get views instantly. But as an educational creator, I struggle, and many times I have thought whether should I continue or not. This is just not my profession; that's my passion, and I can't think of stopping right here. So I'm still on the path. It's been 2 years. Yesterday I celebrated my paid's birthday. So it's been 2 years and I'm struggling. That's okay. I'll try my best, but no stopping right here. Thank you for giving this chance.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So So still continue and fight. Definitely you will win a lot of things. So I just want to share one small moment, like an interesting incident in my life. Okay. So last year I was eager to speak. I just try to speak. We have different cybersecurity communities. Because I am far away from Bangalore, I traveled to Bangalore and try to give some speeches. So I approached many of them, and so much people they have rejected me, not once, multiple times. So I don't have a stage to speak. So I thought, okay, at least if I can't speak, I can go as a volunteer. So again, I tried approach them, the communities. They asked a lot of questions. I felt like I was, attending an interview for NASA. So again, they didn't allow me. So for a moment, it was so frustrating for me. Even I'm pushing myself to give a speech in my cybersecurity community. But so I realized something that if nobody is giving me a stage to speak, why can't I build my own? So what I did, I started my own cybersecurity community in Bangalore. Today, we run very successfully every month. Like we are having more than 75 to 100 audiences coming up. And now the funniest part is I am no longer a volunteer in someone else's community, or I'm not looking for some other stages. I am the founder of my own community. That's how whenever the rejections are coming up, I started thinking different. I never thought of I start my own community, but today it's running successfully in Bangalore. And next month also we have booked a slot. The venue has booked, and we are moving on. So whenever what I'm thinking is like I love rejections. Whenever I go, I just see where the rejection is, so that I can invent something new. Okay, so with that, we move on to the third segment, evaluation section. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. With this, I would call upon General Evaluator for the meeting, Toastmaster Gaurii Aggarwal. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michael. We will start with evaluating Speaker One's speeches. Speaker One's speech, that is Toastmaster Pareikh, and Evaluator 1 for Toastmaster Jay's speech is Toastmaster Rashika. Now, the evaluation section, every speaker will be evaluated by 2 speakers, and the first evaluator for the speaker is going to evaluate on the content and the structuring of the speech. And evaluator 2 will primarily be evaluating the speaker on the delivery of the speech, which is the vocal variety and the body language. So first evaluator is Toastmaster Rashika. Toastmaster Rashika has been a Toastmaster for more than 2 years, served as both VP Education and President at the Noida Expressway Toastmasters Club. She holds postgraduate degrees in English and psychology. She's currently working as a career coach. Toastmaster Rashika.
Thank you. They say animation is childish, but anime proves that emotion has no age limit. Thank you, Toastmaster J, for reminding us that depth. Now let's talk about the strengths of your episode, your speech. The title of the speech, The Certified Weeb. It's really intriguing that instantly caught my attention, pulling me in right from the start. I really enjoyed listening to how you developed your interest in anime when you shared your story, especially the statement that at the 4th episode, I became a fan of anime. Me, who haven't explored it yet, was thinking, let me try it at least once. I truly loved the choice of words. The words you used, sheer, perseverance, reincarnated, all these words added depth to your delivery without overpowering the message. Balanced, wise approach. Kudos. Now, as every great anime has a character development, I have a few suggestions to develop and make your delivery even more impactful. First one, the term weeb was intriguing but unfamiliar. So you explained it later on, but I would have loved to know its meaning a little early in this start because I was trying to decode it till the time it came clearly. And I wasn't able to focus upon your message 100%. So you might consider keeping an intriguing title, but using a term that is familiar to the audience. That would help. Your call to action that was try watching anime came from your heart, and I really appreciate that. But I felt if you could have shared a statement that would have reinforced your message along with this. For example, why we should try watching anime. Maybe your statement could be reframed as great storytelling can be found anywhere. So, why not from anime? So, that would have helped link your personal interest along with the message you want to share. But the best part was the message you wanted to give, the same. The storytelling can be found anywhere, and animation is the power. Overall, a very good speech. It helped meet the objectives. It had a beautiful message, wise choice of words, a personal story to help me connect with you and understand the message. Just slight adjustments with a clearer call to action and explaining the unfamiliar terms right in the start would help in making your next delivery. Your next episode of series will be impactful. Thank you, Toastmaster Ji. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashika. If I was to say something about your evaluation, it was a holistic speech for me. There was an opening where you gave us a one-liner about what you think about anime. There were recommendations, there were commendations, and there's a warmth in the way in which you give an evaluation. So you don't come as attacking at all, even in your recommendation portion. So all this goes as your strength, even your expressions when you were giving commendations, it was like you were really happy with the way the speaker spoke. Your face said it. My recommendation to you is try to avoid using the word but in your recommendations because it makes the commendation a formality. When you said that I liked the call to action, but if you would have reiterated it this way, so then the compliment doesn't really hold value. Thank you. Evaluator 2 for Toastmaster Jay is going to be Toastmaster Manoj Nair. Toastmaster Manoj is an IT consultant who enjoys watching movies, going for walks, and playing table tennis in his free time. He's joining us from Beckenham Communicator Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Manoj, good to see you after a long time.
Thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator Gaurii Aggarwal and my speaker, Jay Pareikh, and everyone there. Very good evening to you all. So my evaluation would be something based on what I hear today, what did I see today, and what did I understood today, which is basically felt. You know, some speeches entertain us, some speeches can take you us, and some may remind you that in this case, especially what Jay has said, you know, passion is nothing to hide. And honestly, I'm coming from a different, maybe a different area of. First, when you start your speech about speaking about the Mongo and the other characters, honestly, it took me a while to understand what exactly he's trying to say about it. So I googled it to figure out. So I may not be, maybe I'm from a different generation. I would say maybe an old dog. So, but the moment you started saying that, you know, I really like, I Google it, and then you figure out what is he trying to say about it. So that really makes me to say that, you know, no matter what is the content, but when I look at you about with your passion, the clear purpose and character kind of things, really building up, you know, the references you mentioned, then I started to feel the storyline about the Naruto's, the Japanese Mongo series, and the characters which you mentioned about anime kind of thing. So what I really like about the way you about the storytelling and the novel reading has really influenced your life. That's what I really heard from you. And what I saw you in that one is that the love towards the story of novels, which is very clear in your delivery on this one. And the third thing which I felt was you are authentic and a genuine passionate about those kind of characters which you mentioned about it. So how can Pareikh can elevate his speech? I would say, this is all about the novels, the characters you said about it. Enhance your staging kind of thing. When I say enhance your content was very rich actually. I mean, I would say try to bring that kind of passion in your speech when you're trying to say. The whole speech was like in a one flow of sequence going through from the start to end. I didn't figure out the dramatic moment in the novel. So try to elaborate one dramatic moment in your novel actually. So that will be able to reflect the audience on it. What I would say in condensing that first recommendation is a less is more. Try to get your speech in a lesser amount of things, but speak more about it. So that would be one thing. The second thing which I felt was pause. Your whole speech, I said before, was just a kind of a rapid, great content, the language, the richness, the kind of stories were there. Try to keep that white space between your transition from anime to Naruto. I think very important. The third thing which I believe is the vocal variety kind of thing. Vocal variety is just basically, I think it's like a highlighter where you have to say the loudness, the softness, the tones, the pitch, the pace. Bring that kind of in your speech there because it was missing there. Those are the kind of things. But in all, what I really like about it was a kind of a great speech with regards to your passion, your authenticity, and the love towards the world of novels you have, which you have depicted in your speech. A smaller thing which I say is pretty much for all your speeches is that, bring that the emotional connection through vocal varieties, the pause you give, the kind of a transition kind of thing between sentences really helps audience to, digest what you have said that. So with that, I wish good luck for your future speeches and back to you, General Evaluator Gaurii Aggarwal. Thank you.
Toastmaster Manoj, the best thing about your evaluation was that you started your evaluation with your experience and knowledge of anime and then went on to saying that how Jay's speech kind of opened up your mind and your views to anime. A beautiful linkage and a genuine compliment to the speaker. Also, this is Toastmasters Jay's second speech and your recommendations were very specific and I'm sure that's going to help him grow with every speech. One thing that I want to bring to your notice as a recommendation towards the end of your sentences, sometimes you use unspecific words like kind of, that one, this one. So if you can just complete your sentences, that will make it more meaningful. Thank you so much for your evaluation. Jay, I have one recommendation for you. It is just your second speech and a basic recommendation. Just give me a second, please. Yes. So I found it to be a little monotonous. How you break that is give some expressions and some hand gestures. It was a window to your intellect. It was a clear speech, a great speech. You have great command over the language. But after the middle, it was kind of getting monotonous for me. There was no rise and fall in your voice and you were sitting and giving your speech. So try to break the monotony in some way. That is my only recommendation to you and I wish you all the best. Moving on to speaker number 2, that is Toastmaster Uttara. Evaluator 1 for Toastmaster Uttara will be Toastmaster Bindhu Joseph. She is a healer by choice and is on a continuous journey to learn, improve, and share. Her hobbies are versatile, anything that challenges her creativity in the present or the future. She is a friend in need, and that makes her a friend indeed. Toastmaster Bindhu Joseph.
Thank you, Madam G. Toastmaster Uttara, you cheated on me. You said you were a newbie. You are the antonym of a newbie. So my evaluation is not going to be whether you have broken ice Of course, you've broken ice, but how much ice have you broken? Now, what stood out for me? In your speech, let's say the starting, you jump-started it. No cliches, no how many have you, how many raise of hands, nothing like that. You went straight into a segment of your life and then you continued from there. You were forceful, vibrant, confident, and these three elements continued throughout the next 6 minutes. Your English, immaculate in terms of phonation, vocabulary, no filler words, no crutches. The script, chronological and engaging. Added to which you had humor. I love dry humor. Eat a dictionary for breakfast. I'm going to steal that sometime, some future table topic. Now, you have very enviable guests, or any Toastmaster would love to have. My advice to you is use those gifts a little differently. Make the wrapping more subtle, more mysterious, and maybe a little difficult to unwrap. So let me just explain. Your script, it was very condensed. I'm fairly confident in my English skills. I can, however, remember maybe only a third of your script. So for a 6-minute speech, I would suggest maybe limit it to about 2 stories. My second recommendation would be on structuring. Think in terms of, remember, your goal is engagement of a totally new audience who are not seeing you as a trainer. So, introduction, where you catch their attention, your body, where you're going to have the most impactful part of your speech, and your conclusion, where your passionate take home is. And pause, breathe, learn the power and beauty of breathing in between sentences so that we can also breathe and assimilate with you. My last recommendation is your hand gestures, even though they were beautiful, appropriate, and aligning with your speech, there was one hand gesture for every sentence. When you go back to the recording, you might notice that the problem is when you have hand gestures and vibrant personality and a forceful speech, the script sometimes, or the content sometimes, we get a little distracted from it. My parting words are, learn the power of being less perfect to connect more perfectly. So, Toastmaster Uttara, looking forward to your shared journey with us at Gabbys. Back to you, Madam GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bindhu. You gave Toastmaster Uttara an evaluation which was appreciative, constructive, and supportive. Exactly what an icebreaker evaluation should be like. And your voice conveys that superlatively. My only recommendation, because you were evaluator 1, I would have loved for you to refrain from giving an evaluation on the delivery part of her speech, because that would be what evaluator 2 would be covering. Thank you for your evaluation. Evaluator 2 is Toastmaster Mathiyazhagan. He works as an electrical professional in the private sector in Bangalore. He lives with his family and is a proud father of a 3.5-year-old daughter. He has been a Toastmaster for about 2.5 years and is currently pursuing his second pathway, presentation mastery. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, the general evaluator. So what on the icebreaker speech? So it looks like the experienced Toastmaster speech for me. And this is not just about the story, it is the speaker emotionally filled with greed, vulnerability, and the transformation on her career. The speaker, she started with, she's not doing well in academics, and it connects the audience. And again, the low score, pressure from the parents, and which all connects. And then the turning point she very well explained when she joined the newspaper agency. Then again, as per the father advice, then again she moved to the Delhi Carnegie. There she joined us the marketing and had passion to become the trainer. Then she moved it. Here my commendations. Expressions were very good, and as she is the trainer, her movement were very natural to me, and she is the very confident while delivering the speech. And another one is on the vocal variety. She gave the pauses and emphasized the importance of the sentences wherever she could, and effectively she communicated the message to the audience. Her message was very strong, and it is the strong message to the audience. My small suggestions to the target speaker, like I felt like the little more pauses between the major transitions when she is having the academically she is not doing well, and when she is going for the turning point. And if she is giving there is some more pause, then that would engage the audience well. So another recommendations like the little more on the kind of the depth on the story or the challenges, how she is transitioned from the the from failed in 12th, and then she is good in the training professions. So what are the challenges? If she could elaborated, so that would impact and it could engage the audience. In summary, the overall the speech was very good, and the her path was not in straight line, but the speaker had the purposeful and the resilience and the learning and the inner wisdom maker to achieve the visionary Twitter. Thank you and congratulations to heartfelt and impactful icebreaker speech.
Thank you, Roastmaster Madhi. Now, thank you for giving her specific recommendations when you spoke about her using pauses, and you cited examples from her speech where she did that, or she could do that. My recommendation to you would be that if you would like to work on eliminating paraphrasing portions of her speech. Um, with that, you would have more time for giving more commendations and recommendations, and the same recommendation as I gave to the first evaluator. Please refrain from giving comments about the structuring and the messaging of her speech, because that was under the purview of evaluator number 1. So this is kind of a different whole structuring of 2 evaluators in the online advanced Toastmasters club. It's something new, I understand that, but please take care from the next time. Thank you for your evaluation, Toastmaster Uttara. Now, I love it that you made an extra effort that you put into the visual presentation. It always makes the speaker's speech more impactful. There's just some correlation. Apart from that, like what both your speakers said, you are confident, you come across as very confident. If there was one recommendation that I was to give you, because it's your icebreaker speech, I would pick up the gesturing. There is a repetitive gesture, which is probably an autopilot for you, which is this. So maybe you want to work on that and replace that. But all the best. I'm waiting for your future speeches if this was the icebreaker speech.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now I would call my team. First, we will start with the timer. Please share your report and your observations. Toastmaster Ayesha.
Yeah. Just share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah. Coming on to the timing, everybody has ended up with the proper limited time, but only one Manoj Nair, he has exceeded over time. He is not qualified. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayesha. You had explained the rules and your role clearly. You were precise, punctual, and politely threatening, exactly what a good timer should be like. Thank you. My only recommendation, do not specifically highlight and pinpoint the Toastmaster who's exceeded the time limit. The red color is self-explanatory. The second member of my team, language evaluator, Toastmaster Chaithra. You are on mute.
Hi everybody, back with my report. Well, I would like to request to share my screen.
You have the rights.
I am not seeing that in my window. I will do a thing. I'll go ahead and present the report and then share it over chat. Would that be okay, General Evaluator Gaurii?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So in general, I would say thank you everybody for giving me this opportunity because it was really, really hard for me to get done with this, especially a couple of them were so good that I had to take that extra time, give heed to every little thing that was said, and it was really a tough task. And now that I've experienced it, I have to tell Gaurii that you were right. It was handful. A couple of pointers that I would like to point out too is again the filler words being used, but like nice, actually, mean, which was mostly used by Mamta Jain, Renu Kaushal, Michael Joshua, Gaurii in one or two instances, Chitrangana Singh in the table topic, Jay Pareikh, and Rashika and Manoj. Uttara in one or two instances. Bindhu Joseph was crystal clear, which was a learning for me. Mathiyazhagan, Ayesha, Prapurna, Viresh, Saurav in one or two instances, and Ravi. Pretty much everybody were struggling only with the filler words according to me. Maybe one could avoid that. Set aside that, if I have to point out areas of improvement for Mamta Jain, it would be to take a pause because a couple of words were thrown here and there. I am feel alone, which could be correctly phrased as I'm feeling alone or I feel alone. Or due to oversight, Renu Kaushal said our instead of our was said, was made use of. And then Michael Joshua, rejection is like a bad. Of course, that is a function. It does functions as a good simile, but it did lack object. So I would say that had to be rephrased. That much was also used, which is a good quantifier, but again lacked a good phrase to have it. And you also made use of the word Bangalore, which is not the official name. It is Bengaluru. Then the title of every speech, or rather some of the speeches, were repeated several times. So probably that had to be a little mindful. You had to be a little mindful about. Gaurii, I would say you were good, and not such big thing was one of the grammatically incorrect articles that I noted. And a couple of standalone phrases, but probably those were all due to oversight, but otherwise, again, crystal clear. Chitrangana Singh, you were absolutely good, except those fillers. And last topic, last song was amazing. The way you coined it, avoiding those repetitive words. I'm so sorry I couldn't take note of a couple of factors. Jay Pareikh, shrinking patient, a good metaphor usage. Vape anime, like it was told, it was a Latin phrase, but should have told what is it. Cliffhanger, it is a literary device very well used for storytelling, but I mean to say the manga was a nice catchphrase to use as a noun, and then watch it, read it was very well used, like how Chitrangana mentioned last topic, last song. And a lot of adverbial phrases were used, and then every single person, good usage, emphatic word was made use of, which was good. A lot of words, new words were incorporated, emphasizing skeptic, or resonance, or hype of Ghibli art, 6 feet, light novels, which was actually a nice compound word to bring in. And Rashika, I like the I like the scapegoat word that you brought in, which similarly means a person who's just blamed, a person or a group who's unfairly blamed. Then you later brought about an emphasis sequence called Then Came a Time, which was also a good learning for me, and would be, I believe it would be for the others too. Manoj Nair, noteworthy phrase that you mentioned was headless king of a thing, which was a noun phrase and which is good. The only thing that I noted was the filler words, and the areas of improvement that I would focus was pause, take a breath, because I did see a bit struggle to identify a object which is cat or kitten, so which made us a little lost there, and then definitely we got back to it, and it was fun listening to you. Uttara, again those filler words and your hand gestures was slight distraction for me to catch hold of, but otherwise it was amazing, very well used. Lot of rhetoric devices were used. Why? Because I did not have any. Then you made use of collective words, sell, negotiation, lead, manage, and facilitate. A lot of metaphors like ray of hope was made use of. Then noteworthy phrases like academic inclination, malleable, gift of the cab, breeze through the interview, swelling with pride, foot in the door. A lot many to note. Areas of struggle or areas of improvement rather to say, would be Dale Carnage training was mentioned, and a little emphasis on that as to what it would have been easier for me to grab, because I wasn't aware of that and would benefit the other audiences too. I noticed a bit dip while describing drive or ride motorcycle in your story. The word tense and grammar was used together, where grammar includes tense, it's a category, could have been avoided. Bindhu Joseph, I'm taking away creative backbone to be the word for me for today, for the phrase, for a metaphor for me to take home. But otherwise, crystal clear. Hope we learn to speak like you, or I personally would like to speak like you. Mathiyazhagan, stuck up was used, could have avoided. Filler words could have been avoided. Ayesha, one of helped you was used, could have been a better sentences. 2 minute, 3 minute was used, rather than saying it as minutes in plurals. Displaying cards could have avoided rather than using a different word for this. Additionally, grace time pretty much means the same, could have used one of the word as an addition. Prapurna, near to the end of the meeting, truly engaged, were really good usage. And then Viresh, again the fillers, and Saurav, again the fillers is something that I would point out too. Elios, on my own hands was said, could have rephrased it better. Then Ravi Lokatya, breaking free, some random, very high degree. These were used. Well, some random and could have been avoided. The rest are noteworthy phrases. Well, this is the end of my report. Thank you. I believe I've taken a lot of time. Didn't expect it to go this long, but I couldn't share my screen. That is a trouble that I was struggling with. Otherwise, great learning. Apologies, I did not address you all as Toastmasters individually while referring to your names. I would inculcate the habit to refer each of you all as Toastmasters before saying each of your names. And finally, to say for each of them who pronounced each of the participants' name, I would tell people take the audio help to learn how to pronounce their name, where a couple of names were not pronounced rightly. So this is the end of the report. Thank you everybody for patiently listening to me. I'm a certified Gabby. Please bear with me. Over to you, General Evaluator Gaurii.
Toastmaster Chaithra. Extremely articulate. Your pronunciations are so clear. You explained both the roles in detail. You didn't just give us the word of the day. You gave us the history behind the word. Now, because you are the language evaluator, I'm going to say that you played your role exhaustively. Just like the exhaust fan soaks up everything from the kitchen, that's exactly what it was. Sad analogy, sorry for that. Now, language evaluator is a role that enhances your observation skills. But in your case, if it reflected your observational skills, and that was mind-blowing. You took everything as small as Bangalore and Bangalore to mentioning that Toastmasters should be careful about pronouncing names correctly or making an effort to ask for the pronunciations. My recommendation, you are aware that you took very long. Now, it is also one very important criteria when we are speaking to stay within time. So you are going to share your report. What you can do from next time is give fewer examples of every speaker and then say that you can refer to the report instead of listing out each and everything. Moving on to the last member of my team, which is the listener. Last but not the least, she's going to test our listening skills today. Toastmaster Prapurna.
Thank you, General Evaluator Gaurii, once again. As a listener today, I paid close attention to all the speeches and all the speakers. To help us all reflect on what we have learned and reinforce it, and to test our listening skills, I'll be asking a few questions related to our meeting. So what I want is, I'll ask the question, but please raise your hand instead of speaking. I'll pick the one. So the first question is, how many hours of Dale Carnegie learning did Toastmaster Uttara have completed? Raise of hands. Yes, Gaurii?
150?
Yes. That's awesome. Next. What is the first anime series that was watched by Toastmaster Jay?
Naruto.
Who spoke?
Naruto.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Next. I hope. Okay. Our evaluator 2 for speaker 2, Mathiyazhagan. When he is speaking, there is a background of cupboard color. The background cupboard color, what was the combination of it? Please don't switch on your video.
Yellow and white.
Yes. Who spoke it? Toastmaster Renu.
Yes.
Wow, fantastic. Next, Toastmaster Veeresh said he badly failed and in which class? Later he improved upon.
8th?
No.
10th?
It's not a number, it's a subject name. Which class?
Algorithms.
Algorithms.
Yes. Okay, next. Toastmaster Rashika has said she has a new Instagram page. What is the name? What is the content of it? And since how many years she is working on it?
2 years.
Yes. Yes, Toastmaster Gaurii. And what's the content of it? Okay.
Jay wants to answer.
Yes, Jay.
Spirituality, spiritual
And
learning.
one more thing. Okay.
Madam
You're
Chair.
almost correct. It is spiritual and mental wellness. So that's all for today. And thank you for being the amazing listeners. Now over to you, Toastmaster Gaurii.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prapurna, for that segment. Obviously, beautiful questions. And you also took into consideration non-verbal communication by asking us what was the color of the wardrobe. Now, my recommendation, this is a fun segment, but we have to keep in mind that we are encouraging the Toastmasters to be better listeners. So if in the end you can give us a report like 1 out of 10 or 5 out of 5, it will just give us a kind of a statistics about how our listening skills were. That's my only recommendation to you. Thank you very much. I'm not going to keep you waiting, and I'm going to quickly scrape through my evaluation as a general evaluator. I'll start with the Sergeant at Arms. Toastmaster Mamta, there was a smoothness with which you spoke. You sounded prepared. Being on time is something synonymous with Gabbys, and you are not a regular Sergeant at Arms. You kept up with it. Thank you, and that was beautifully done. You know what was your own flavor to Sergeant at Arms? That smile that you spoke with. Thank you for starting the meeting with a smile. My recommendation to you, if you would have, before the meeting started, if you would have encouraged all speakers and role takers to mic test, most of us, including me, had a bad network, and that made the meeting a little choppy. Moving on to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Renu, there is a spark when you speak. You had me lean in. There were some great announcements today. You gave a well-deserved screen time to our guests and to Toastmaster Smriti being the contest winner. Thank you for doing that. Now, my recommendation to you is it is a better idea to message role takers and speakers unless the situation is dire, instead of unmuting and speaking in the middle of their segments. That is my only recommendation to you. Moving on to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Michael, there was audience engagement. You kept the meeting moving. Now, there's going to be a mix of recommendations and commendations because I'm going to say it the way I've written it. You started by saying, how is everyone doing? Excellent way of starting. But what about waiting for them to reply? You said, how is everyone doing? And then you went on to asking, what are your success stories? So that transition didn't work. It wasn't smooth. In the first part of your, in the first segment of TMOD, you closed with the famous rejections. Very nicely done. It was encouraging for members to speak later on during the meeting. Now, when you were introducing the speakers and their speech titles, again, that wasn't smooth. That was going a little choppy. My only recommendation, it is a good idea to go through the speech titles and the introductions beforehand so that you know the names, you know the speeches. Another thing that you missed doing was to ask for the presence of evaluators before asking the speaker to speak. Now, in order to avoid struggling to get responses from the audience, I would suggest call out their names. Everyone has a story and people don't show up or don't speak for multiple reasons. But if you call out their name, everyone is going to speak because everyone does have a story. Okay, this brings me to the role of our table topic master, Toastmaster Chitrangana. Toastmaster Chitrangana, you're a pleasure to watch and you are a pleasure to hear. Your topics were extremely engaging, and what you did differently today was not to give us topics as such, but you gave us songs. And that made the table topics even more thought-provoking. You are a good speaker, all of us know that, but I do have some recommendations for you today in particular. The first one is go for non-role takers first, instead of just going for anyone who's raising their hand. The second recommendation, you would have probably wanted to repeat that round robins is a continuation of what the previous speaker speaks. Every speaker was giving their own take on the topic, whereas they had to continue from the previous speaker. Again, because this is something new in our meetings, you would have probably had to reiterate this multiple times. Now I don't know, was it because of a bad network or what? But again, your transitions in the middle also were not very smooth. When you were closing a particular topic and moving on to the second one, I found you not being too comfortable today. So maybe you want to work a little bit on that. Now, just to wrap up my evaluation, there were a lot of use of stories today, and that was outstanding. Every role player was conscious and respectful of time. Again, moving to the role takers, especially Toastmaster of the day, general evaluator, and the table topic master, the agenda is your Bible when it comes to time. So whether it is asking to give a break, whether it is asking to give another topic in the table topic section, you have the agenda with you and just follow that. Thank you very much for being patient listeners. And with this, I hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Michael?
Yes, yes. As we come to huge applause for the general evaluator, Gaurii Aggarwal and her team. Thank you so much for the detailed evaluation. We had a lot of takeaways and a lot of learnings. As we come to the end of this meeting, I want to thank each one of you for showing up the openness, enthusiasm, and the courage to face growth. So keep embracing those rejections in your speeches, in your career, and in your daily life, because every setback is preparing for you to come as a stronger comeback. So now I would like to hand over the meeting back to our presiding officer for her final remarks. Toastmaster Renu, over to you.
Let's hear it for our Toastmaster of the day, Michael Joshua, who really led us through today's theme, rejection to success. Toastmaster Joshua, thank you so much for that heartfelt preparation that you did and truly appreciate. Now it's time for the polls, like we are already running off the time. So I'll just quickly launch the polls. And in the meantime, I would like to hear it from our guest role takers. How did they like today's meeting? Can we hear it from Toastmaster Rashika?
Sure, thank you. It's not the first time I am attending Gabbys meeting, so I have been a part of this meeting earlier as well. Thank you for inviting me as an evaluator. When Toastmaster Renu asked me to take an evaluation, it reminded me of something that one experienced Toastmasters once said, where you can consider yourself as an experienced Toastmaster only when someone will invite you as an evaluator in their meeting. So maybe this was my day to consider me the same. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, you surely are an experienced Toastmaster, and there was lots of meaning and learning in your evaluation. And we'll really look forward to having you more often in our meetings.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Mathiyazhagan, please help us with your pronunciation, name pronunciation, and then about your. Please give us your feedback also.
Uh, yeah, thank you, ma'am. So you can call me Madhi, but actual pronunciation is Mathiyazhagan. 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 Aragan. Yeah.
Okay.
But you can call Mathiyazhagan, it's okay.
Right.
I loved the entire meeting, ma'am, and there was a lot of learnings for me today. And this is the first time I'm taking in the Gabbys meet. After the very long time, I joined Gabbys meeting, and here, I got to know like where I'm standing and what are the things I got to my key takeaways from today's meeting. And so there are the things I learned a lot. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for picking up the role of the evaluator and supporting us in the club meeting. And I really look forward to having you more often in the meeting. Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Now it's time for of the poll results. So the best evaluator, would anybody like to make a guess? Is it Toastmaster Mathe? Is it Toastmaster Bindhu Joseph or Toastmaster Manoj Nair? But Toastmaster Manoj Nair, sadly, he disqualified on the basis of time. So, or Toastmaster Rashika. Any guesses? I see we are running late, so I'll give you the name. This is Toastmaster Bindhu Joseph. Many congratulations, Toastmaster Bindhu. Can we have you on the camera for one last time for the picture, if you're in the room? Yes. Okay, the next role taker is the best auxiliary role taker. Was it the language evaluator, the timer, or the listener? That's an easy one. We all know. I congratulate the best auxiliary role taker, the language evaluator of the day, Toastmasters Chaithra. Toastmaster Chaithra, can we have you on the camera, please? And the last is the best role player for today's meeting. Any guesses? The GE, the TMOD, or the table topic master? Who do you think it is? You all are going to have dinner, right? Just after 1 minute. So we can say that one name, last one name.
G.
GE, yes. Yes, Sergeant at Arms, you're right. Congratulations, Gaurii, Toastmaster Gaurii. And today we are not having the best the speaker coming up. So we are just left with one more thing, poll, that is the table topic speaker. If we can quickly have that. Come on, Gabbys, let's. There are 12 people. I don't see many people voting. Isn't the screen visible?
Come on, guys. We are just wasting time. Quickly vote.
Yeah, just quickly do it and we'll end it there. Okay, I see not many people are showing interest in the polling, last minute polling. So the best table topic speaker for today is once again Toastmaster Bindhu. Congratulations, Toastmaster Bindhu. We don't have the best speaker poll today because we had an icebreaker. So with this, we come to the end of today's meeting. Thank you everyone for coming by and supporting the meeting.
Thanks,
Have a very
everyone.
good
Have a
night.
lovely
With this, I
evening.
close this
Fantastic.
meeting.
Sorry.
Yes, please.